We have two-time Intercontinental Champ, five-time Tag Team Champ, WWE Superstar Cody Rhodes on the line with us to talk about the WWE Live show that will be going down Saturday, June 7th at the Pan Am Center in Las Cruces. Cody, thanks for taking time off your day to talk with us in Univision El Paso. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Thank you for tweeting about the said interview because I was in the middle of a rare day off, and I had looked at that Twitter, and I was, I almost, I wouldn't have known what to do. I would have been caught off guard. I would have been a horrible interview, so I appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank you very much for the retweet, man. We'll go with some fan questions in a minute, but first, it's the second time in less than a year that WWE is coming back to the Borderland with a live show. Can you talk about the uniqueness of these shows in comparison to the Raw, SmackDown, and pay-per-views?
I mean, well, they're intimate as far as uh, the live events, or if you ask any of the superstars, that's any of the divas, they're what we they're the heart and soul of WWE. They're what we truly do. If you look at Monday Night Raw, it's almost like a blip. It's almost like a commercial for what you actually get on the live events. Whereas, for example, it'll be Randy Orton and Ryback versus The Shield. You only see threads of that story on the television show, but then you actually get the full match there at the live event. So it's the heart and soul of what we do.
And coming off of Payback, what can fans expect from the Divas and Superstars in this show, only 6 days away from this pay-per-view?
I think Payback, especially kind of in that post-WrestleMania fallout period of time that we're in, you see the emergence of a lot of people who really want to get to WrestleMania next year and have such an impact like Daniel Bryan had. For example, Cesaro in Las Cruces, he'll be wrestling my brother of all people, and it's that type of young talent versus the old guard versus a trusted superstar, and it's those type of matchups that are most intriguing this time of year.
You spoke about Dustin. How special has it been for you being a tag team with your brother Goldust in this past year since the storyline started?
I think it was kind of just a gift because it wasn't intended to happen. It wasn't something that we had discussed. We knew we were going to do the Battleground pay-per-view and have the six-man, but we certainly didn't know a week later we would be winning the tag team titles. And then after that, it was something that kind of caught fire, and I think we were both happy at the idea of being able to do it because we didn't grow up around one another, and it kind of gave us the opportunity to make up for lost time.
And with all the success that Goldust had, I mean, I remember him from the Attitude Era. Now he was like a reborn superstar. He looked as young as ever in the best shape of his life. Can you comment a little bit about his skills now in this second air that he had on in WWE?
I think age is not as important as it once was in sports entertainment, and not that Dustin's old, but he's certainly better than he ever was, and I always considered him to be rather underrated. So for me to tell you that he's better than he ever was, it means a lot. It has a lot to do with healthy changes he's made in his lifestyle, and I think it has a lot to do with just the competitive nature that exists between two brothers, whereas we both think we're better than one another, and we're tagging one in and out. So it's an opportunity to one-up him, and then he has the opportunity to one-up me. It's a really positive competition.
Cody, being a second-generation superstar, you've been in sports entertainment your whole life. What comments can you give us about the great late Hall of Famer Eddie Guerrero, who's the hometown hero over here in the Borderland?
Eddie, he paved the way for a certain type of athlete. Eddie Guerrero, specifically, I remember watching, kind of right before the Monday Night Wars really kicked into gear, and Eddie Guerrero had a special way of performing then, and to be able to watch him evolve into the Eddie Guerrero who would win the WWE Championship from Brock Lesnar, it's great. It gives somebody like me, who's a second generation, who's also been through various phases of my career trying to find my niche. It gives somebody like me hope because Eddie Guerrero was somebody that we watched grow up and beam across the television sets ourselves. I mean, if you look at him in the singlet tights, the long hair, and then you just watch him evolve into this, lying, cheating, feeling was his motto, and Viva la Raza, and just his absolute passion for the industry. That's the type of guy that I enjoyed watching, and to this day, there's several matches I always have ready to play of Eddie Guerrero's.
Awesome, and now going back to Cody Rhodes. Cody, what can we expect about the Prince? I mean, I bet that you're hungry of getting more gold around your waist and keep going to the top. You being one of the best in-ring performers that the WWE has nowadays.
I think for me, I have a great fan base that they're a little impatient, and I don't blame them because they've watched me on Raw. I was very lucky and very fortunate. I debuted early. I was 21 years old, and they've watched me, try to climb this ladder, and it's a marathon and it's not a sprint, and that's like the best way I look at my career currently, because I'm still, even though I've had a mustache and I've had a mask and I've had this digital mirror and this whole dark sides in myself, I still want to evolve. I still want to make these little changes until I find exactly what it is for me that I can carry my career on with. And the WWE is my home. I plan on being here quite some time, and there's plenty of titles left in the WWE, including the big one that no Rhodes has ever held. So if there was an end game, that would be it.
That's the main goal. And you talked about your big fan base worldwide, and we have a couple of fan questions off from Twitter. One of them says, if you weren't a WWE superstar, what would Cody Rhodes be?
I have an interest in, I guess, I don't know if production would be the way to describe it, but I work heavily on a side project, that being the JBL Cole Show on YouTube, and I love the opportunity I can when I get to be behind the camera and actually put together the scene. And I love the opportunity to produce and direct the little bits of power that JBL gives me on a very successful YouTube channel, and that's really intrigued me. So perhaps if I wasn't able to compete in the ring, I certainly would hope to be behind the camera in some capacity.
Wow, that's the first time I hear about it. So you're part of the production crew with the JBL and Co show?
I wouldn't say that because JBL he'll heckle me for the rest of my life, but you're not lying. I'm one of the brain trusts that helps put a very sporadic, mad show together, and I'm very proud of what we do.
Yeah, it's a great product for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. Go into the WWE YouTube channel. A great, great show online. And another question, what is the craziest thing, fan-related, that has happened to you in the WWE?
Gosh, pretty early when I started my career, a young fan came up to me in Scotland. I actually remember I was checking out at the desk, and she asked me to sign her wrist. And I didn't really think much of it. It was a little weird. Just because, it's someone's wrist. And, she had her wrist out and was really polite, and I signed it. And I remember I signed it pretty poorly. Like, it didn't look like a good signature. And then, fast forward 4 years later in the same hotel on the same UK tour, and I'm, walking through the lobby, and she came up to me and showed me she had it tattooed.
Wow.
Wrist in the same fashion that I signed it. And I just wanted to say to her, gosh, I wish I had signed it better. I wanted to say to her this was a kind of a dumb idea, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't demoralize. I couldn't do something like that. It was such a kind gesture in the first place, and such a true fan thing to do that I just smiled, and I always take a picture with her every time we're there.
And our final fan question of the day, any advice for your fans struggling with the dream, Cody?
Oh, I think best advice I ever got came from my father. We're very visionary, dreamer type people, not very reality based. We're certainly not realist, but I like that. And gosh, he must have played the same Garth Brooks song for me every morning on the way to school. The River was the song, and it's all about just having an absurd amount of confidence in anything you do. And if you couple that with hard work, there's literally nothing. There's no dream, big or small, that you can't accomplish if you put the work in and you put the time in. And that's probably the best I could say.
Well, Cody Rhodes, one of the superstars that will be here in Las Cruces, June 7th. Cody, any final invitation? I mean, you're one of the superstars. Also, the Shield, Cesaro, Randy Orton, your brother Goldust, Ryback are also scheduled to come. It's going to be a big show over here.
Absolutely, I get the chance too to beat up on my former partner, not my brother by any means, but Damian Sandow, and that match is one that I've always enjoyed giving to the fans. So if anything, it's like a super card, especially of the young WWE. So it's very much worth going.
Oh, of course. I think we saw that match last year, and it was a heck of a match. I also had a chance to see it over in SummerSlam a couple of years ago live, and you guys tore the place down. So we can expect that and much more from you guys. So, Cody, thank you very much, and we can't wait to have you guys over here in a weekend, 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you, man, very much.